The indigenously developed KF-21 Boramae Hawk fighter jet from South Korea is a bold undertaking for the country's defense industry. South Korea is one of only a few countries pursuing the costly development of an indigenous 4.5+ generation fighter aircraft, and the only one with a close and significant military and defense industry relationship with the United States. Hello and welcome to another video from War Secrets. So without any further ado, let's get into all the details of one of the most exciting planes in recent times. Korean Aerospace Industries, KAI, unveiled the first KF-21 prototype in April, marking a significant step forward in the 8.8 trillion won, that is, $7.8 billion program. It also marked the beginning of the monumental path toward testing, evaluation, and production of South Korea's first indigenously developed fighter aircraft. Getting new clients to sign up for the KF-21, on the other hand, will be a whole other ballgame for KAI, which puts the type's potential export market at 600 to 700 aircraft. The KF-21 could be a market success for countries that don't want or can't afford an F-35 and don't want to become reliant on US or Russian fighters. Not only does KAI need to keep the F-35 in mind, but they also need to keep all of the other rivals in mind. Recurrent unit flyaway cost of less than $60 million is critical, as are operating costs of $20,000 per hour or less. In March 2015, Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration (DAPA) picked KAI as the program's prime contractor, and development began in January 2016. The initiative hit a snag in 2015 when the US refused to provide over crucial technologies relating to the Active Electronically Scanned Array (AESA) radar and other sensors that were planned for the KF-X at the time. In June 2018 and September 2019, KAI conducted the Preliminary Design Review (PDR) and Critical Design Review (CDR) respectively. The KF-21 will make its first flight in 2022, and flight testing with 6 prototypes will be completed by June 2026. By 2032, all 120 series production aircraft, both Block 1 and Block 2 versions, are expected to be delivered. The KF-21 will be capable of Mach 1.8 speeds and will be equipped with 4 MBDA Meteor long-range beyond visual range air-to-air missiles (BVRAAM) in semi-recessed fuselage stations rather than an internal weapons compartment. According to KAI, the aircraft has a range of 2,900 kilometers and can carry a maximum payload of 7.7 tons, including weapons, sensors, and drop tanks on 10 hardpoints. The employment of platform alignment of the aircraft's flight surfaces, serpentine ducts to disguise the face of the engines from radar, and radar-absorbent features within the airframe are all used to minimize the RCS of Block 1 aircraft. Stores will be installed on wing pylons or conformally along the aircraft's fuselage, as the Block 1 will have provisions for but will not be equipped with an internal weapons bay. External storage, on the other hand, will considerably reduce the aircraft's characteristic performance. In a conformal storage air-to-air configuration, General Dynamics' F-16XL featured a 50% lower frontal RCS than production F-16As at the time, resulting in a 16% reduction in detection distance. When air-to-surface stores like lantern pods and bombs were added to the airframe, however, General Dynamics discovered that this advantage was seemingly neutralized. In collaboration with Hanwha Systems and Elbit, the ADD has been charged with designing an Active Electronically Scanned Array (AESA) radar for the KF-X. South Korean industry had some experience building naval and ground-based AESA radars before full-scale KF-X development began in 2014, but no fighter-mounted radars. The ADD chose Hanwha as the prime contractor over LIG Next 1 in 2016 and set aside 380 billion won, that is $315 million, for the radar's development. ELTA was given a $37 million contract in 2017 to provide technology and operational testing for the development of the KF-X radar. As of October 2019, the KF-X radar had been flight tested 10 times in Israel and 6 times in Korea on ELTA's 737 radar testbed. In May 2021, the radar passed a Critical Design Review (CDR). The KF-X prototype will flight test the radar in 2023, with development wrapping up in 2026, just in time for the first Block 1 aircraft to be delivered. Korea attempted to modify the existing LIG Next 1 ALQ-200K electronic warfare pod for internal carriage within the KF-X in reaction to the US withholding RF jamming technology from the program. The ALQ-200K pod was designed to replace the KF-16's internal electronic warfare system. The ALQ-165, which entered the ROKAF service in 1999, the ALQ-200K has a higher power output and antenna gain than the ALQ-165 and is capable of contemporary digital radio frequency memory (DRFM) jamming techniques. The Leonardo Skyward system, which has also been chosen for the Saab JAS-39EF Gripen, will be used for the KF Infrared Axis Search and Track (IRST). According to Leonardo, the system has a horizontal search azimuth of plus or minus 85 degrees and a vertical search azimuth of plus or minus 65 degrees. The system is 55 pounds and works in the mid-wave and long-wave infrared spectrum. Although no range estimates were available at the time of writing, the Russian OLS-35 IRST employed on the Su-35 can detect a Su-30 from the front at 18 miles and from the rear at 56 miles. The earlier Pirate IRST employed on the Eurofighter is said to have a range of 31 to 50 miles and a detection range of more than 25 miles. Hanwha will develop the Electro-Optical Ground Targeting Pod (EOGTP) for the first Block 1 aircraft, which will be delivered by 2026. The pod will be able to detect and track ground targets at all hours of the day and night, as well as provide semi-active laser guidance for precision guided missiles. A Hanwha Systems multifunction display measuring 8 by 20 inches is included in the miscellaneous cockpit arrangement. The HUD will be a BAE Systems design that LIG Next One will construct under license. The aircraft's communications, navigation, and identification antennas will be supplied by Cobham. Although KAI has said that Link 16 or other data lines could be incorporated in the future, the aircraft will employ a data link provided by LIG Next One. KAI had preserved the space allowances for a weapon bay within the fuselage. A promotional film for the KAI KF-X from February 2019 shows 2 internal armament bays, each with 2 AIM-120s. The weapon bays of the older C-107 could hold 4 AIM-120s for air-to-air missions or 4 GBU-39 small-diameter bombs and 2 AIM-120s for self-defense missions. However, these promotional brochures were prepared before the MBDA Meteor and Dial IRI-ST were chosen. The KF-X program has awarded Cobham a contract worth more than £7 million to deliver missile ejector launchers (MEL). The MEL have a long-stroke ejection system that can throw weapons 30 feet per second from the launch platform. The South Korea sought to equip the KF-X with Raytheon AIM-120C radar-guided AAMs and AIM-9X IR-guided AAMs made in the United States. The US, on the other hand, refused to issue export licenses for the missiles. As a result, the MBDA Meteor and Dial IRI-ST were chosen by the DAPA. According to DAPA study, US missiles would have been easier to integrate and less expensive. MBDA was granted a contract to integrate the Meteor on the KF-X in November 2019. The ROKAF, on the other hand, still wants to deploy American missiles. And after the KF-1 Axis flight in mid-2022, a renewed drive to integrate American AAMs is planned. The KF-X will also be equipped with a 20mm M61 Vulcan cannon placed on the port side. The Joint Direct Attack Munition JDAM, Laser JDAM, LJDAM, Korea GPS Guided Bomb, KGGB, GBU-39B, SDB-1, GBU-53B, SDB-2, HARM Anti-Radiation Missile, and LIG Next One Low Observable Standoff Cruise Missile will all be carried by air-to-surface Block 2 aircraft. The KF-X will be powered by 2 GE F414 400K turbofan engines, each with a thrust of 22,000 pounds-feet. Both the F414 and the Eurojet EJ200 were evaluated by KAI, Hanwha Techwin, and the DAPA, with 26.7% of the points going to cost, 33.3% to technical issues like performance, 24.7% to domestic production opportunities, and 15.4% to management, which included terms and conditions and technology transfer. In every facet of the evaluation, the GE414 bid was found to be superior. South Korea received its first F414 400K engine in June 2020. Throughout the KF-X program, GE aims to supply 240 F414 engines to KAI, with 15 engines presently on order to power 6 prototypes. The KF-X and IFX aircraft will be part of the KF-X family, which will include single and twin-seat variants, as well as 3-block configurations. Initial production configuration of the KF-X with air-to-air capability, as described above, according to sources, the Block 1 will either have a limited or no air-to-ground capability. Block 1 is equipped with an internal weapons bay. However, it can only carry weapons from the outside. Block 2, the projected Block 2 design, which will be introduced in 2029, will allow for internal munitions stowage. A full range of air-to-ground bombs would be added. According to some sources, the Block 2 will not be as successful as the Block 3. The Block 3, although plans for a national Block 3 with a complete LO features have been explored, serial manufacture of such a configuration has not been approved. Indonesian IFX, according to reports, has sought several changes to its IFX. A refueling probe, increased range, and a data link that would allow the aircraft to share data with Sukhoi Su-27 and Su-30 fighters are among the upgrades. That's all for today's video. We hope you liked it. If so, please subscribe to War Secrets and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates for our future videos. We will see you in our next video. Take care. Bye.